Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good evening, everyone. This is Shehryar Sikander, and I'm back with another interesting and exciting read talk. The topic for today is the role of reading in personal development. So, before wasting any time, I will give a quick glance introduction of our guest. The guest for today is an honorable and respectable personality, Sir Azam Jamil. He is a motivational speaker and a business trainer. He has more than 44 years of experience in hospitality, tourism, management, marketing operations, people management, and training and development. His schooling journey started from HSN College, Lahore, then Burnhal, Aptabad, University of Karachi, and finally to Cornell University in New York. He is currently a senior consultant for Franklin Covey, Pakistan, and Toyota Punjab. Prior to this, he was the chief operating officer of Hashu Education Division, and he also held the position of a dean at Hashu School of Hospitality and Management. Due to his countless achievements, the introduction goes on and on. He also served as a corporate director of training and development, also the corporate head of sales and marketing at Serena Hotels, South and Central Asia. After moving to United States in 1983, he became the first Asian to be elected to the board of Best Western Colorado, representing over 80 hotels and motels in the state. So prior to joining the Serena Hotels, he had many key positions like director marketing of Berger Paints, executive director of Colony Sarhat Textile and Mills, and assistant general manager of Intercontinental Hotels. Sir, you are most welcome on the behalf of Read Pakistan, and we are so excited to have you in this wonderful evening.
Thank you very much. Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me. It's a real privilege.
Sir, would you like to have some words with our audience before we go into a formal discussion?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yes, I would. I think the audience needs to know that despite this very generous introduction that you gave, I do not have the answers to all the questions. Okay, I'm not Mr. Know-all. But yes, I have a lot of experience. And what that experience helps me to do is to perhaps give an opinion. And that opinion might work for somebody and it might not work for somebody. So I don't want everybody to be thinking that this is not exact mathematics or calculus or physics, that I have the exact answers. I don't. But I shall share my opinions with you and what I feel, what happened to me. It may help somebody, it may not. So that's what I want to say, and the rest is up to you. You can ask whatever question you want.
All right, sir. All right, sir. You are an experienced person, and your opinion matters a lot. Sir, as the topic for today is the role of reading in personal development. So to read is to acquire knowledge, and the actual purpose of reading is to make yourself aware. So how do you see the knowledge as a source of confidence in personal development, and how much do you believe it can make a person well equipped to face the future challenges?
Okay. Your question is a very, very simple one, and it has a very simple answer. Reading provides you an opportunity to be what you are. Education does not. Okay. Now let me give you an example. Let's say you take an exam and you come up, or you are handed an MBA degree, and the first job that you apply to, it says at the bottom that minimum qualification MBA. And you're very happy because you have now the degree for the minimum qualification. But when you land up, at the organization, especially if it's a good organization, guess what happens? You'll find 100 people waiting in the hall, right? So what's common between all these 100 people. The only common thing is that they're all MBAs because
MBA,
that's the minimum qualification.
minimum
So
qualification.
they're all MBAs. So the minute you find that there are 99 other MBAs sitting, your advantage just gets thrown out of the window because that was your usi ki show maar rahe the na. Hey, I'm an
Exactly.
MBA, and suddenly there are 99 more of you, and they're all sitting there, and some of them may have a higher GPA than you. Some of them may be more good looking than you. Some of them may be richer than you, but all of them have an MBA. So there goes your advantage. So
Exactly.
if that advantage is no longer there, then you have to ask this question to yourself: that why will these people hire me? Why will these people select me over the 99 others?
19
Okay.
others.
Yeah, why will they select me? And the only reason they will is because they will check your knowledge. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Education is not an advantage anymore because we've already agreed that everybody has one. So they will check your knowledge. And where does
Okay.
knowledge come from? Yeah, like you said, it comes from reading. Okay, it makes you a better person.
First.
So yeah, so the question is that uh, I want the viewers. I always actually teach this. Okay, don't ask this question, or let me first narrate the question in Urdu and then I'll do it in English. ये सवाल
Sure.
मत करो कि इस काम को करने से मुझे क्या फायदा है. ये सवाल गलत सवाल है. सवाल करने वाला ये है कि इस काम को नहीं करने से मुझे नुकसान क्या है. Right? So don't ask how reading will help me with my life. The question to ask is, if I don't read, what damage will it do to my life? That's the question to ask. And when you realize the damage, and when you realize ki, doing this is not going to be doing me any good, then you will take some step to correct that. Okay. And all these people who are educated, who are listening to your program, there's a very simple rule that there is no difference between people who cannot read and people who can read but do not. There's no
But
difference.
no. Okay, exactly. That's the
You
point.
understand? हाँ,
Yes,
जो
I get it.
जो जो पढ़ नहीं सकता और जो पढ़ सकता
पता
है
नहीं.
लेकिन पढ़ता,
हाँ,
इनमें दोनों में कोई फर्क नहीं है.
exactly, sir.
So one is not able to read because he's illiterate. He's never
Yeah,
been educated. And the other guy who has been educated and he can read, and if he's not reading, then to me there's no difference between the two. There's no difference.
exactly, sir. Got it, sir.
Move on.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, so you have been a very a good. You have been a very good speaker and a and a business as well. So to become a good speaker and
Shehryar, I can't hear you. Let me just log off and log
uh,
on again. If this happens.
sorry, we have some connectivity issues. Uh,
Can, yeah,
okay,
I
sir.
can hear you now. Okay.
Yes. Sir, switch on your camera, please, sir.
Okay, wait. Let me find it first. Okay, here we go. Sorry, this happens when
Okay,
I
sir. Thank you, sir.
when I
So, so,
get a call or something.
okay. Okay, sir. It's okay. Sir, my question is to become a good speaker and improve your communication skills. So, being a motivational speaker and a good, being a motivational speaker and a successful trainer, um, how much do you agree with this? How much do you agree with this? That for becoming a good speaker, you need to be a good reader as well. And how does the reading influences one's way of thinking in life?
Okay, there are two questions. So the first one is that being a good speaker is a different skill. It's got nothing to do with your knowledge. In other words, you could be a brilliant speaker and you could be talking nonsense. ठीक है?
Exactly.
Communication स्किल्स तो बात करने का तरीका है ना.
Exactly, sir.
तो अगर
All right.
अगर बात करनी आ जाए और ये पता ना हो कि बात कौन सी करनी है,
One second.
so there is no point in becoming a good speaker, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, being a good speaker is absolutely necessary. But once you become a good speaker, then you have to have content. Now people are saying
And
okay, he speaks well, but what does he say?
yes, and and for that you must read. The content is actually comes from reading.
Read, Shehryar, देखो, reading is one aspect. मेरा रोना बताऊं क्या?
Perfect. Yes, sir.
Curiosity मर गई है. When you are no longer
Yes, sir.
curious, why would you read?
Curious.
तो जिसको उर्दू में तजस्सुस कहते हैं, हमारी यूथ में वो मर गया. So why would anybody read when there is no curiosity? Curiosity means you wanting to find out. And if you don't want to find out
Exactly.
something, then why would you read? और अगर क्यूरियोसिटी
Yes.
रहती है तो नॉलेज नहीं भी अगर रीडिंग नहीं भी होती तो नॉलेज के और तरीके हैं. आप गूगल कर सकते हो, आप वीडियो देख सकते हो, हजार तरीके हैं. बट प्राइमरीली द क्यूरियोसिटी इज गॉन.
Okay, sir. We got it, sir.
शहरयार,
Sir,
बेटा आई एम सो सॉरी. आई हैव टू डिस्कनेक्ट एंड रिकनेक्ट. मुझे आवाज एको आ रहा है. ठीक है, जस्ट गिव मी 1
okay,
सेकंड.
sir.
ठीक है.
Okay, sir.
ओके,
Okay,
थैंक
sir.
यू.
Sorry, audience, we have some problems with mic. It will get settled soon.
Thank you. I
Okay, sir.
apologize. But
No, no.
okay. So
Let's continue.
next.
Let's continue to talk. Okay.
Okay.
Sir, the next question is about the leadership. So, your unique multidisciplinary management skills has transformed you into a leading speaker on leadership. So, do you believe becoming a leader is all about learning from personal experiences, or there's a particular way or key habits like lifestyle practices which, if adopted, will help a person become a good speaker, good leader? Sorry.
Both. मेरा अपना opinion है that there are some people who speak a lot on leadership, but they haven't led 2 people in their entire life. But they're brilliant as far as their training is concerned. Okay, and then there are people like me who teach leadership, but throughout their career they have led large teams of people. In my opinion, the second option is better because you actually taste the pudding that you make, or you taste the dessert that you make, and as opposed to just reading books, you actually experimented with stuff, and sometimes you failed, and sometimes you've succeeded. But like I said, देखो, leadership is not about having authority. It's not about having a title. It's people think कि टीपू सुल्तान आ गया तलवार उठा के घोड़े पे. That is not leadership. Leadership is when a group of people like you. That's leadership. Simple. इसको complicate मत करो. ठीक है?
Okay, we
तो
got it,
हाँ,
sir.
or if they like you, what will they do? They'll work better for you. If they
Exactly.
work better for you, who will benefit? You will benefit. So मैं तो सब senior managers को कहता हूँ कि जाके पूछो, रात को अपने आप से पूछो that all these people who listen to me all day long, and they will listen to you because they are your subordinates and they get paid to listen to you. But ask a question that do they really like me? And sometimes, and be honest to yourself. And if they like you, then trust me, they will help you succeed. And if they don't like you, they'll still work for you because they need a job, but you will struggle for the rest of your life because the people who are there to push you to success, they will not push you. So it's a very simple thing. Leaders need to be liked. And it is not based on competence. It's not based on ठीक है तुम होशियार भी होगे, you are highly educated and you have all the degrees in the world, but do people like you? And that's the simplest way I can um, define leadership. uh, लोग तुम्हें पसंद करते हैं कि नहीं?
Exactly, sir. Sir actually chose the second option. The leadership is not all about the personal experiences, so we got it. Sir, keeping in view the leadership, what are some books that you think have changed your life and which you think were crucial in ensuing leadership skills in you? So we would like
Now
to.
look, I don't believe, personally, I don't believe that any book can change your life. This sounds very nice. This sounds very nice that this book has changed my life. To be very honest, a book cannot change your life. What changes your life, Shehryar, is something that you've read in that book that you like. एक आधा चैप्टर है, एक चैप्टर है, एक पैराग्राफ है, एक लाइन है, तुम्हें वो लाइन पसंद आ गई, and
That
that
has
has
clicked your mind.
impacted your life. Yeah, exactly. So books are not like a blood pressure medicine that you pop them and suddenly your blood pressure will go down. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, in every book there will be a message that will appeal to you, and in every book you will find something that impacts you. So first of all, to answer your question, I haven't read many books on leadership, just a handful. And if you tell me any one has changed your life, none have. And I hope they don't change my life, because my life is not that fickle that it can be changed with a book. Okay, change with a lot more than a book. So, but when you read a book, whether it's leadership, whether it's fiction, whether it's a love story, whether it's an autobiography, any books that you read, I always find that I like something in that book that appeals to me. And this may, you may not know this, and of course you don't, because I haven't told you. I don't read a book without a pad and a pencil in my hand. I don't, because मुझे जो चीज पसंद आती है, I write it down.
And you
I
make
write it down.
a diary of it.
Yeah. So after reading one book, I'll have a page and a half of interesting quotes of something that I've liked, and then I'll go put them on my phone or laptop, and then those quotes become a part of my future. That I use them for my training. I try to follow them. But yes, I don't think, my opinion, again, like I said in the beginning of your show, it is just a single opinion that I'm giving you. Okay,
Okay.
a lot of people are well within their right to disagree with me, but I don't think a book will change your life. I think if you read multiple books, portions of that book may affect your life.
Yes, sir. The diverse contents of many books or readings that will contribute to it. Uh, Sir, as it is a proven fact from your life that it's possible and reasonable to pursue your career beside being engaged in co-curricular activities like sports and music, and also being a sports person and a professional musician. You never let yourself get bored and you enjoyed it. What are the unique attributes which you experience that sports inculcate in the personality of an individual?
Well, only one. If you have to thank sports for anything, thank sports for the fact that it teaches you how to lose. Harna
Okay.
sikhati.
So what's special in
Anybody
losing?
who's a sportsman, what special is losing is that it teaches you to fall down and get up again.
Get up
If you
again.
don't know how to lose, you when you fall down, and fall down you will, you can fall down in business, you can fall down in love, you can fall down in a relationship, you can fall down in many factors of your life. But if you really don't know how to lose, that falling down, your recovery will be very difficult. I was today reading a quote uh, by Serena Williams, who's a tennis player, and I'm a tennis player too. And she said that the definition of a champion is not who wins the most matches. The definition of a champion is the one who's fallen the most. and has had the courage to get up. वो चैंपियन हुआ ना.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Those who have the courage to rise up again.
Exactly.
Exactly, sir.
So my sports in my life has taught me how to deal failure in other parts of my life. Sports में तो, but क्या, don't you fail in office? Don't you fail in your marriage? Don't you fail in raising your children? Don't you fail financially when you don't have money? So if you're a sportsman, in all these other facets of life, it teaches you to recover and be strong. So that's my comment, that I am very grateful to sports because I've played it at a good level. It has taught me failure in other parts of my life, not necessarily sports. Sports में तो हारना ही हारना है. Lekin tomorrow,
Yes, I
if
agree.
I'm, if at some work I'm working on the project, and if I fail in that project, I know how to handle it because of sports. So that's my take on knowing how music. Music, you obviously you fail in music too. Uh, I am sure that if I ask you that who are the top singers in Pakistan, you'll be able to, if you have a good memory, you'll name 10, 12 people. And you'll say Ali Zafar, and you'll say Flana, and Abrar ul Haq, and Vital Signs. But for these 12 that you'll name, there are 12,000 who have failed. वो
Exactly.
बेचारे कोशिश रगड़े खा खा के कोशिश कर करके they are nowhere. So music में again failure rate is very high. For one famous musician, about 500 never make it. So, but my advantage of music was, Shehryar, that it unwound me. जब मैं दफ्तर से आता हूँ, आज भी जब मैं काम से आता हूँ, तो मैं 15 मिनट कीबोर्ड पे बैठ जाता हूँ. And I play a song, and it just unwinds me. It takes my blood pressure down. And then when I meet the family, I am a much better human being. That 15, 20 minutes of playing music literally settles me down. So of course, I enjoy playing music, but this is a side benefit I enjoy of music. That to me, it's like a therapeutic medicine. It provides therapy to me.
Exactly. So, like we know from it now that there's a big a contribution of music in your ever green personality. Sir, let me take the opportunity to mention a famous quote of the Waldo Emerson, that if we encounter a man of a rare intellect, we should ask him what books he reads. Some same way, sir, we would love to hear from you some top books recommendation which you would prefer for our audience and to read in general.
Yeah, I've read मेरी जो books choice है ना, शरियार,
Yes, sir.
बहुत ही बड़ी खिचड़ी है. It is a
Okay.
real खिचड़ी. When I was younger, I read To Kill a Mockingbird. I loved that book. I read From Pepsi to Apple. I loved that book. I use that in my training. So it's a mixture. I've read a few autobiographies. I've read Napoleon's autobiography. I've read some books on aviation because I'm a flyer, so aviation interests me. तो मेरी किताबों की चॉइस कोई इतनी इंटेलेक्चुअल नहीं है कि तुम्हारे व्यूअर्स जो है ना वो बहुत इंप्रेस हो जाएं कि देखो जी कितना दानिशवर आदमी है. आई एम फार फ्रॉम दैट. but but I have a good mix of books. If you look at my shelf, you'll always find Faiz Ahmed Faiz. You'll always find that,
Yes, sir.
because we tend to speak about English books more. But every time I need something, I open Faiz, and something that Faiz Saab has written, I will read, which will give me temporary, encouragement. I'll pull out of my depression, and these were great people who wrote. और एक तो ये भी saying है, Shehryar, कि people
Yes.
say that when you want to know about the history of the country, don't read history books, because a lot of times they lie, because तारीख लिखी नहीं जाती, तारीख लिखवाई
लिखवाई जाती है.
जाती है. अगर किसी लिखवाई जाती है, और किसी दौर के बारे में अगर पता करना है, तो उस दौर के शायरों को पढ़ो, बिकॉज शायर झूठ नहीं
शायरों
बोलता। शायरों को पढ़ो अगर तारीख पढ़नी है तो। You know, if you
सर
want to read about Pakistan's history, read Jalib, read Faiz, read Faraz. They will tell you Pakistan kya tha, because in their poetry they actually write history. So,
yes
so yeah, mine is a mix of books, and you know, it keeps changing. Uh, 3 days ago, there was a promotion on Facebook. KG, give 4,000 rupees and we'll send you 21 books. So I ordered it. 21 किताबें आके वो अब सज गई हैं। अब पता नहीं कब चांस मिलेगा, पढ़ूंगा नहीं पढ़ूंगा, लेकिन खरीद ली है। और मुझे
yes
मुझे फैज साहब के ग्रैंडसन अदील आशमी, ही वाज अ वेरी वेरी क्लोज एंड अ डियर फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन। ही वाज टेलिंग मी जस्ट 2 days ago, I was having dinner with him. He said कि एजे, फैज साहब की जिंदगी में माली मुश्किलात बहुत आई हैं, एंड देयर वर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट दे कुडंट अफोर्ड, बट
yes
एक चीज के लिए उन्होंने कभी बजट हाथ हाथ नहीं रोका, और वो थी किताबें खरीदना। कहते
exactly
if you went to him and said you wanted to buy a book, he would give you the money to buy it. So yeah, it's to me, I think books, and you know, knowledge to एक aspect है Shehryar. People correlate knowledge with books. There's a higher calling, and you know what that higher calling is? That higher calling is beyond knowledge. It's wisdom. और
okay.
नॉलेज और विजडम में क्या फर्क है? नॉलेज आपके लिए एक्वायर करते हो, अपने लिए एक्वायर करते हो। विजडम जब आप एक्वायर हो जाता है तो आप दूसरों की मदद करते हो, दूसरों की जिंदगी में आप असर डालते हो। सो यू नो, एंड द process is stepwise. There is data, there's information, there's knowledge, and then it comes to wisdom. Wisdom is the highest calling. तो
Hi.
अगर आपने if you've read a book, and after reading a book you've acquired knowledge, what are you going to do with that knowledge? शो मारनी है दोस्तों में बैठ के? Is that what you want to do? Is to show off to people that, you know, Mount Everest is 29,029
No,
feet high,
no. Mm, that's
right?
actually
So
the teaching that in book that teaches
yeah,
you to
so
what to do practically.
so my advantage, or goal my goal in reading, the little that I read, I don't read much, is that I want to acquire wisdom, because the difference between knowledge and wisdom to me is very simple. Knowledge is something that concerns me. It's a selfish activity. It's about me. And wisdom is something is about others.
Selfless.
So
It's like a selfish
yes, yeah. So
attribute.
yeah, I use wisdom to help other people. Now, when I go and teach in universities, and I go and teach, when I talk to students, I am talking from a wisdom point of view, ताकि उनको फायदा हो। ठीक है? They are
Correct.
not interested in how much you know, but तुम्हें सब कुछ पता है, क्या करना है। तो तुम्हारा पता होना एक चीज है, उसको इस्तेमाल कैसे करते हो? To me, that's the essence of leadership, and that's the essence of contribution, where you help others grow.
Yes, sir. And here, I would like to mention one thing that sir has trained more than 40,000 trainers without charging them a single penny. So that was like a great contribution. Sir, would you like to shed a light on education, like how should what you will give a message to the parents that is there any better investment from education in your children's?
हाय, तुम मार पड़वाओगे मुझे पेरेंट्स से भी और बाकी सबसे। देखो बेटा, एजुकेशन ऑलवेज टॉट दिस, और कुछ लोग तुम्हारे शो देख रहे होंगे who may have been my student. एजुकेशन इज अ वेरी गुड फाउंडेशन, और फाउंडेशन हर चीज में बहुत जरूरी होती है। But what is the purpose of having a good foundation? The purpose of having a good foundation is to build something on top of it. So if you are not going to be building something on top of it, what's the point of the foundation?
What's the point of foundation? There is no point.
By बुनियाद बुनियाद क्यों मजबूत होनी चाहिए? क्योंकि इसके ऊपर इमारत पुख्ता हो, ठीक है
ईमान
ना?
पुख्ता होती
जब इमारत बनानी नहीं है, जब इमारत बनानी नहीं है तो बुनियाद तो पुख्ता बन जाएगी, लेकिन उसके ऊपर तो अभी पार्टी शुरू हुई है ना। लोग डिग्री लेके तो हैंड्स अप कर लेते हैं कि जी कहानी खत्म होगी, हमें डिग्री मिल गई। और भाई अभी तो पार्टी शुरू हुई है, बिकॉज डिग्री के ऊपर मकान बनाना है। और मकान एक तालीमी इदारा नहीं बनाता, तालीमी इदारा आपकी बुनियाद बनाता है।
बुनियाद बनाता है।
मकान आपने खुद बनाना है। आप मुझे ये बताओ कि एमबीबीएस बहुत अच्छी डिग्री है ना, ठीक है?
वेरी नाइस।
5 साल का रगड़ा है ना, 5 साल
एग्जैक्टली
का रगड़ा है ना।
एग्जैक्टली
ओके,
एग्जैक्टली।
ओके नाउ मैं तुम्हें कसम खा के कहता हूं, अगर तुम किसी डॉक्टर को ढूंढने जाओ और वहां उसके बोर्ड पे लिखा हो एमबीबीएस, तुम घुसो भी ना उसके दफ्तर में कि यार ये तो सिर्फ एमबीबीएस है। उसने भी 5 साल रगड़ा खाया है ना।
Yes, exactly. Why not? There's a professional degree.
But yeah, but you will not enter his office because that's the only degree he has. You are looking at the degrees following the MBBS.
Yes,
के एफ आर सी एस तो एम आर सी पी तो फलाना स्कॉटलैंड तो फलाना आयरलैंड, दैट्स व्हाट यू आर लुकिंग फॉर। एंड व्हाट इज दैट? दैट्स द मकान, वो उसने बनाया है। एमबीबीएस की डिग्री तो मेडिकल कॉलेज ने उसको दी है।
exactly,
उसके
exactly.
बाद, हाँ, उसके बाद आके वो कहे जी मैं डॉक्टर बन गया हूं, सारे पीछे हट जाओ, तो in 5 years you and I will not go to him because that degree will now not have any value to you and me. It will have value to him, but it will not have value to you and me. Now, the degrees that doctors take post their graduation, that is their मकान, और वो मकान तुम्हें और मुझे उनके दफ्तर में एंट्री करवाता है।
Yes, exactly.
तो मरवाओगे आज मुझे पता है।
No, sir. Sir, would you define like our system only teach talim, and there's a lot difference between the talim and tarbiyat. Sir, how do you define it? And keeping our system in view, what are your comments on this?
बेटा मेरे तो 30 साल गुजर गए ये पढ़ाते हुए और रोते हुए, मातम करते हुए, that in the pursuit of education हम तरबियत भूल गए। मैं तो इसके अलावा मेरी सारी ट्रेनिंग इस पे बेस्ड होती है, बाकी जो भी सब्जेक्ट हो फंडामेंटल क्या है। और उस दिन मैं आई वाज एज ए लाइव टॉक विद डॉक्टर आरफा सैयदा, और वो और मैं बात कर रहे थे दिल हाशमी के साथ ऑन लाइव ऑनलाइन। एंड आई सेड के पढ़ाने वाले बहुत हो गए, बताने वाले खत्म हो गए। और तरबियत कौन देता है? बताने वाले। और बताने वाले पढ़ाते नहीं है, बताने वाले तरबियत देते हैं, पढ़ाने वाले एजुकेशन देते हैं। सो हमारी जिंदगियों में बताने वाले चले गए। दूसरी बात ये थी कि बताता कौन था? हु वर द बताने वाले?
Poor.
एवरीबॉडी, एवरीबॉडी अराउंड यू बताने वाले थे। तुम्हारे योर पेरेंट्स फ्रेंड्स बताने वाले थे, उनके फ्रेंड्स बताने वाले थे, मोहल्ला बताने वाला था। बिकॉज क्यों? बिकॉज बच्चे सांझे होते थे, पूरे मोहल्ले का बच्चा होता था। आज ये बच्चा तुम्हारा है, आज ये बच्चा मेरा है। मैं कहता हूं
Individualism.
मैं इसको क्यों बताऊं? हाँ, मैं अगर कोई मेरे बेटे का दोस्त भी अगर आता है और वो अगर कोई बदतमीजी करता है, तो मैं तो एक फर्क टाइप का बन रहा हूं, मैं तो चित्रौल करता हूं उसकी, लेकिन नॉर्मली पीपल वुड नॉट से एनीथिंग। वो कहेंगे यार हमारा क्या लेना देना, ये मेरे बेटे का दोस्त है ना, तो इट्स नन ऑफ माई बिजनेस। हमारे पेरेंट्स के फ्रेंड्स जो थे, हम अगर कोई गड़बड़ करते थे तो इट वॉज देयर बिजनेस। वो कहते थे हमारा दोस्त का बेटा है, एंड दैट मीन्स वी आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर हिज तरबियत। तरबियत केम एट अ वेरी वेरी हाई कॉस्ट। अगर उन्होंने डंडे उठाए, तरबियत दी, फरमाइश नहीं की तरबियत की। तो अब हमारा जो वैल्यू सिस्टम, we've corrupted our value system everywhere in the world, but Pakistan we've corrupted our value system. Why? Not because our people are less educated. हमारा कोई
The culture as well.
सड़क पे एक्सीडेंट होता है या कोई, हाँ, नहीं, कोई सड़क पे कोई चोरी करता है तो हम कहते हैं यार देखो पढ़ाई की कमी। और वो एमबीए है जिसने चोरी की है। पढ़ाई की कमी नहीं है,
Exactly, sir.
तरबियत
They
की
are
कमी
highly
है।
qualified. They are highly
ऑफ कोर्स,
qualified criminals. That's right.
तरबियत, एग्जैक्टली, तरबियत की कमी है। सो यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट। मेरा बहुत मुझे दुख होता है कि हमारे माशरे में तरबियत खत्म होगी, क्योंकि पढ़ाने वाले तो रोज आ रहे हैं और बताने वाले खत्म हो रहे हैं। और बताने वालों का खत्म होने का द रिजल्ट इज दैट नाउ वी हैव नोबडी टेलिंग अस और टीचिंग अस अबाउट एथिक्स, मॉरल्स एंड वैल्यूज।
Yes, sir. There's like you have had a dream life in America. Why did you left America and came back to serve your own nation? What did motivate you?
बेटा, पागलपन। I'm just a very desi homesick person. I cannot. I would love to travel all over the world. I'm one person who cannot conceive being disconnected from my country in a permanent manner. And in America, trust me, was not a dream life. It was very hard. But I had all the luxuries that one dreams of. Here, I had
Exactly,
them
sir.
there. You have your
That's what I
house, you
want.
have, your car, and you have everything is there. But I couldn't. And my wife, mercifully, my wife was very similar to me, and we didn't have any conflict when we decided that okay, काफी साल हो गए, time to get back, and it's the best decision I've made. I would make it 10 times. If I was to live 10 times over, I would make the same decision. Yeah, I travel overseas very often. COVID से पहले मैं हर 2 महीने मैं लंदन में होता था. And I love traveling and I love going everywhere. But I couldn't live there.
Yes, sir. So what other message you would like to give to our youth, and what values you think should be inculcated in the people as a general?
Yeah, देखो, first of all, I am very scared of giving messages to the youth.
Hello, sir.
The reason I'm very scared, Shehryar, is the reason I'm very scared giving messages to the youth is because I don't think I'm competent enough to give a message. मैं कौन होता हूँ किसी को मैसेज देने वाला?
No, no,
But
sir.
I can talk about life, and I can talk about life that I have led. I tell them of the mistakes that I have, and I tell them, yeah, don't make these mistakes. Make new ones. You will make mistakes. But why would you make a mistake that somebody else has already made and he's told you why he made it? So my advice to the youth is, okay, please lead your life based on knowledge, not on education, because knowledge will get you through. Educate you in the first 5 or 6 years of your life. उसके बाद कोई पूछेगा नहीं. मैं Shehryar, I was chief operating officer of the Hashu Education Division. Education, right?
That's exactly.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
that
As
was
I
my
have mentioned
position.
already.
ठीक है, I was leading the Hashu Education Division. मेरी डिग्री को गुमे हुए 29 साल हो गए, and nobody asked me for it. जो बंदा एजुकेशन डिवीजन को हेड कर रहा हो, उस डिग्री ना हो और अगले नौकरी दे दे, तो मेरे से डिग्री तो नहीं मांगी, मेरे से चेस्ट एक्सरे मांग लिया, कहा जी हेपेटाइटिस सी का रिजल्ट ले आए, अब कोविड का मांग लेते हैं. तो a degree, I keep repeating, it's a very piece of learning and a document. But at any time, it's the foundation of your life. Don't make it your life. It's a takeoff. Have paid for your education, and some parents I know have paid for your education while struggling themselves, but they have sacrificed everything to pay for your education. And now you are educated, you have a degree. But please, this is just the start of a long journey. Don't depend on it for the rest of it. It's going to betray you. ये बेवफा होती है डिग्री, खूबसूरत औरत की तरह.
Yes, sir. Yes,
ये
sir.
छोड़
As
देगी,
the
हाँ
majority
हाँ.
of our youth, yes, majority of our youth got depressed nowadays, and anxieties are everywhere. What are your message to them to live evergreen life like you, and uh, to be a good person, like a productive person of the society?
पहले तो मैं I just want to clarify your misconception. Had I don't have, or I never had an evergreen life. Trust me that you spent about 5 minutes on reading my achievements. One day, have a show with me reading my failures, and you will need 2 hours just to read my failures. So no life is evergreen. Okay. Yes, you struggle through it, and I am very grateful to Allah, and I worked relentlessly hard. I worked very hard to get where I am. It hasn't come easy, but there is nothing was handed to me, on a plate. It wasn't evergreen. There's a lot of effort involved, and my message is simple: that start start working hard. और डिप्रेशन है ना, यार खुदा के लिए, कौन सा तुम पाकिस्तान बना रहे हो? डिप्रेशन क्यों है तुम्हें? तुम्हारे तुम्हारे कंधों पे क्या जिम्मेदारी है? घर आते हो, मुफ्त की रोटियां खाते हो, रात को सो जाते हो, 11 बजे उठते हो, कान में लगे होते हैं आईपॉड्स, और पता नहीं क्या बकवास सुन रहे होते हो. डिप्रेशन किस बात की है भाई? डिप्रेशन तो माँ बाप को होनी चाहिए कि ये 11 बजे बिस्तर में लेटा हुआ है. सो
Exactly.
आई for God's sake, the question is, you are young, you are the strongest you will ever be. When you get to my age, I've had a quadruple bypass open heart surgery. जब मेरी उम्र में आओगे ना, तो समझ आ जाएगी कि डिप्रेशन क्या होती है और व्हाट यू हैव टू फाइट. यही तो उम्र है कि वेयर अल्लाह हैज मेड यू द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट, और इस उम्र में मतलब है कि गिव अप कर जाना है. सो आई रियली गेट वेरी अपसेट व्हेन पीपल से कि जी हमें डिप्रेशन है. किस बात की डिप्रेशन है? ना तुम्हारी शादी हुई है, ना तुम्हारे बच्चे हुए हैं, ना तुम्हारी कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. हर चीज तुम्हारे मुंह में तुम्हारी माँ ने वाला डालती है कि जी डिप्रेशन है. एक थप्पड़ आए ना, समझ आ जाए इनको डिप्रेशन. सो द अदर थिंग इज कि व्हाट वाज आवर बिगेस्ट कंप्लेंट शेरियार इन द लास्ट 20 years, कि टाइम नहीं है, टाइम नहीं है, हर चीज का टाइम नहीं है, ये क्यों नहीं करते, टाइम नहीं है. सो व्हाट इज हैपेंड, व्हाट इज कोविड डन? कोविड हैज गिवन यू टाइम. अल्लाह ताला ने कहा ये ले बचा, ये वक्त पकड़, जो मर्जी कर इस वक्त का. इनसे पूछे ना, ये डिप्रेशन वालों से, कि पिछले 5 महीने में क्या किया है कोविड में. एक किताब पढ़ी है? कोई अपने ऊपर डेवलपमेंट, पर्सनल डेवलपमेंट की है? कोई एक ऑनलाइन कोर्स किया है? और ये जो इंटरव्यू देने जाएंगे ना, आई नीड टू टेल देम. एक जमाने में इंटरव्यू में एक क्वेश्चन होता था, टेल अस अबाउट योरसेल्फ. यू नो व्हाट द न्यू क्वेश्चन विल बी? व्हाट डिड यू डू ड्यूरिंग कोविड? इधर आओ ना जरा, जवाब दो. और उनको बताना कि मैं नेटफ्लिक्स और पराठे खा रहा था.
Exactly.
फिर तुम्हें नौकरियां मिलेंगी. सो द क्वेश्चन इज कि तुम्हें इतना अल्लाह ताला ने, वी पेड अ वेरी हैवी प्राइस इन कोविड, दुनिया तबाह हो गई, लेकिन वक्त तो अल्लाह ताला ने दिया ना. तुमने इस वक्त का क्या किया? जवाब मुझे दो ना. मैं इस उम्र में, आई एम 67 years old, पिछले 5 महीने से कोई मुझे टाइम नहीं लगता कि मैं कुछ सीख लूं, मैं कोई टेड टॉक सुन लूं, मैं कोई हॉस्पिटैलिटी का, अगर किताब नहीं पढ़ सकता तो कोई आर्टिकल पढ़ लूं. नॉट अ डे passes where I can sleep when I ask myself, what did you, AJ, what did you learn today? और अगर उसका आंसर है नथिंग, तो फिर फिटे मुंह है.
Okay, sir. Uh, Sir, what do you say about the individualism as a factor in society, and how do you explain it? And what are your comments about the individualism?
बेटा, आई रियली एम नॉट कॉम्पिटेंट टू आंसर देयर क्वेश्चन. मैं ऐसी कोई बोंगी मारूंगा, उल्टी सीधी हो जाएगी. इंडिविजुअल, इसी एक बंदे के पास, यू मस्ट हैव सम कॉम्पिटेंस. डोंट फॉरगेट दैट बिकॉज आई वाज चीफ ऑपरेटिंग ऑफिसर एंड आई हैव डन दिस एंड आई प्लेड म्यूजिक डजंट मीन I have the answers to all the questions. I don't. Okay. And individualism is a subject. It is a very technical subject. And my advice to you is that next time you get somebody on this show, if he's studied that subject, if he's competent, ask him. I really am not the right person to ask because I don't know.
Okay.
That's the
Okay.
bottom line. I don't know.
Okay, okay, sir. So thank you so much for being here and give us your considerable time.